something I've seen a lot on Twitter. Deebo Samuel. He never had a problem when Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback. He never held out. He never had. Is it possible that Deebo Samuel causing a stink is partially or primarily because he's not excited about this quarterback change and he doesn't want to play with Trey Lance? You've seen this on Twitter, haven't you?
I haven't seen it. This is actually the first time that I've heard really where it's about not wanting to play with Trey Lance, and I'm that's kind of why I'm trying not to laugh, because I think it's kind of I think it's a funny one. Well, all you have to do is go back to the preseason, and I think it was the Raider game in the preseason where they had him mic'd up, and Deebo was talking to Trey about how everybody's going to learn about Trey today, and all those kind of things. So I don't buy that at all. I think Deebo Samuel wants to play with Trey Lance. Trey Lance is going to make him a lot of money. I think that's the way that Deebo Samuel should be looking at that.
I would think so too. I mean, I could see why people would go down this conspiracy theory road. It's like, look, Deebo gets a lot of targets from Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't physically get the ball to Brandon Ayuk. Like, that's his guy. You don't really know how this is going to. Trey Lance throws a much less catchable pass than Jimmy. I don't know if you could see the logic going that direction, but I think it's probably more like correlation, not causation. I've heard those mics up too. I feel like also I think it was the Seattle game or one of the games, you could hear Deebo telling him beforehand, like, we're going to show him today. And then after he caught some long touchdown pass, he ran over. I told you you could do it. I told you.
Yeah. Then that would have been that probably was that was probably the Seattle game or the Houston game. One of those two.
One of the home games. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't buy this at all. I think Deebo definitely wants to play with Trey Lance. He's going to take over, I think, if he has Lance at quarterback.
I would think so too. And let's talk about. I have a bonus topic.
Sure.
I didn't tell you about it, but I think that makes it even better. Keep you on your toes. Let's say Deebo Samuel doesn't force himself off the team. Something stupid doesn't happen. The Niners work this out, and he's on the team this year, either with an extension or on his current deal, probably on an extension. How do you think the 49ers will use him this year? And my question is sort of like a split breakdown. I could go first. Sort of like last year. Let's get his numbers up. Let's do it first, just so we have a baseline. Best year of his career, all-pro season. He had stats, catches, carries. Okay, so he had 121 targets. This is usage in 16 games, and he had 59 rushes. I'm saying I'd like him to have 10 targets a game. So that would put him from 120 to more like 170. I'd like him to get 170 targets this season and dial those runs back from 60 to 35. I mean, that's kind of how I'd like to see him use this year. Although they tried to use him that way for the first half of last year and they lost a lot. So I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think the right track. I think that's the direction they would like to go. I don't know if it'd be quite up to 10 because that's where it might be a little bit lower than that because I think we're going to see Ayuk maybe get a couple more targets. But if he's still in that 8 to 10 range, that's, I think, perfect for him.
Yeah.
He's not going to have to be running so many shallow routes. He's going to actually be able to get a bit deeper and be used on some more shot plays than he has in the past. So I think those numbers you put together are right about where they should be. About 160, 170 targets, 35 carries sounds a little high, but about right probably for a guy that can do what he does with the ball in his hands.
The reason I say so much is to me, the reason Cooper Kupp got all the accolades last year is he just got a ton of targets. He got 190 targets in 17 games. And great. I mean, he's that good. Why would you? I think he got 25% of the targets in his office or something crazy like that. I mean, Deebo Samuel's every bit as good. Every time you don't give him the ball, I feel like you let the defense off the hook. Obviously, you don't want to burn out Deebo Samuel in the regular season, so there's a fine line there. But if Cooper Kupp can handle 11.5 targets a game or whatever he got last year, I think Deebo Samuel has earned to be in the ballpark. And if it comes at the expense of some targets for like Juwan Jennings or, Kyle Juszczyk, well then I guess so be it. Okay, sorry, Juwan. We'll get back to you. Don't call us. We'll call you when we need you. I mean, I'm just saying it's Deebo. Did I lose you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when you look at what Deebo did last year, when in the first half of the year, when they were averaging 10 targets a game to him, he had, I think, 4 or 5 games over 100 yards, a couple monster games, and then his targets went down. And then the Tennessee game, all of a sudden his targets went back up again. And what do you know? His numbers were through the roof again. So this is a guy who, I've heard way too much about Deebo Samuel and having one good season. I'm a little tired of that because I think that's the worst take that I've seen on Twitter.
I agree.
And I keep hearing over and over again, whether it's Twitter or on television, is that he only had one good season. That's wrong.
The one thing the way he could take his game to the next level, or like just have no weaknesses. When they were using him as primarily a wide receiver the first half of the year, giving him 10 targets a game, I think he was leading the league in drops. Yep, so it's going to get even harder to catch the ball now with Trey Lance. I mean, that's on you, Deebo. Catch the ball. If you could not lead the league in drops, you could definitely go for 18, 1900 yards receiving in a 17-game season. You could do it. I think you could.
Yeah, no, that was definitely the issue. I know I kept tracking it. People were getting mad at me over the first half of the year because he was dropping it. He had quite a few drops over the first half, and it was really after the second half was much better, but his targets were lower too.
Brian J says, sounds like Deebo is as good as gone. Relax. Hold on. You really think the Niners are going to let him? He would have to sit out. I don't think they're going to trade him. It seems to me that this is just drama for the offseason. This is speculation on Adam Schefter's part. It seems like the Niners are trying to say, like, hey, we're not mad. We like him. And we just don't understand where Deebo's coming from. I don't think he's as good as gone. Do you think he's as good as gone?
No, I don't think he's as good. I mean, if the 49ers decide to move off of him, this is a monumental mistake. I mean, even I was listening to an interview with Trey Lance from earlier in the offseason, right before the Super Bowl. And when they were talking, one of the things that he was asked was, what does he expect next season to be like? And he was talking about all the receivers that he has and the wide back and everything like that. So he definitely is expecting to play with Deebo Samuel. And I think the 49ers want him to be with Deebo Samuel because they know that that's one of his best weapons.
Yeah, it's like if the season that Patrick Mahomes became the starting quarterback, the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill. Like, you know what? We don't really think that would help for Patrick Mahomes. We don't think he needs that.
No, he definitely needs it, and it'll be, like I said, we'll know by probably by end of day Friday for sure, but I think it might even be sooner than that.
I just posted in the chat box a link to the clip on whatever ESPN show it was of Adam Schefter saying what he said, because some people saying, is this clickbait? No, he really said this. So if you don't believe me, the link is in the thing. You can watch it, but watch it later. Keep watching the show because we're still talking. Tommy says you want Deebo for the price is 4 firsts.
That's right.
I don't know. Maybe. Do you think the price is the 10th pick from the Jets? I don't know if the Jets would give it up.
The only way that if I'm the 49ers, the only way I move off of Deebo Samuel is if I'm getting 2 first-round picks in this draft back. The Jets seem to be one of the main teams, and so it would have to be like, I think, what is it, the 6 and 10 pick? That's the only way that I would move.
Fourth and 10.
Okay, 4th and 10, yeah.
That's enough, Deebo. He's going to be on the team. Enough. He's gotten so much manufactured press that's for nothing.